بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. أما بعد, أحبتي في الله, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A question was asked, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ramadan Mubarak. I have a question regarding a widespread mindset amongst some Muslim women. Many women think that their career is more important than marital life because they say that in this day and age, being financially independent is the priority over marriage and starting a family because men are not trustworthy or they can leave you. Other women want to get married, but they postpone marriage proposals to find a job first to support their family financially. My question is a career a valid reason to delay marriage? So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned in the imperative form. He said, Ya ma'ashar shabab, man istata'a minkum al-ba'a falyatazawwaj. O you youth, those from amongst you that are able to marry, then they should do so. And the ba'a, as we've mentioned on more than one occasion, the scholars mention that there's al-ba bedani, there has to do with the ability physically to be able to get married, meaning that, for example, a male or even a female has the physical prowess. So the male, akramakumullah, he is able to function, to be able to get married physically. Likewise, the woman, if she has a sickness or she has something prohibiting, akramakumullah, sexual intercourse, then perhaps this would not also fit under that criterion of that inability. And the other type of ba'a that the scholars mentioned, this other ability, is in reference to financial ability. When you are financially able, meaning as a man, financially able to take care of a family household. As far as women postponing marriage, which is a very common in this day and age, and if we're honest, there are many reasons, as the questioner mentioned, that encourage women to somewhat do so. That we do live in a time where we have a lot of divorce, and we do live in a time where there are, unfortunately, many men, especially more youth, that don't take care of their families and don't provide financially for what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made as an obligation upon them. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Kitabi al-Mubin, Ar-Rijal aqawwimuna ala nisa, men are the maintainers and protectors of the women. So that is an Islamic obligation upon men during when they get married. So with that being the case, this has become widespread. It is especially prevalent in the West, but it's prevalent around the world. I recall even many, many years ago, the last time I was in Yemen before this war, that this was on the tongue of some of the Muslim sisters, Salafi sisters, even at that, who were concerned. They wanted to learn English to become English teachers, so that way they could care for themselves in case they get divorced, because divorce had become so widespread in Yemen, and this was over 10 years ago. So with that being the case, you see that there is a lot of this mindset in fear. I believe, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best, as we see that the scholars mention that the encouragement is to get married and not to delay marriage. However, and this is what the Nusus show us, however, does that negate that a woman looks out for her well-being and gets educated in college and so forth? I don't think we can say that it negates that. However, again, the encouragement is to marry, But something I want to add and emphasize is that it's very important for brothers and sisters to look for a partner that is suitable. So, in order to kind of deal with that, if there are issues where a sister is concerned about being taken care of, then those things should be addressed prior to getting married. That to emphasize that, hey, I want to be a housewife, or hey, I want to finish my career, or hey, I want to go to college. This is important to me. Those things need to be made known. Now, if under the circumstances, if a woman or a man, they fear that they're going to commit haram, zina, or they are involved in pornography and masturbation, akramakumullah, and these kind of sins, which unfortunately has become so widespread that some believe that that's perfectly okay. It's better that they do that than get in a disastrous marriage. This is the kind of the mindset, and this is wrong, and this is haram. That if they are in a state where they're in a dangerous situation and that they strive to find self-gratification in this way, that is impermissible, rather than getting married if they have the option and the ability to do so, meaning they have suitors and so forth. So these issues, no doubt there are many complexities to this. The Sharia shows us that the encouragement is to get married, and the asl is that encouragement for marriage over the career. There's no doubt we do need to consider the context of our societies and time and something. So I would not discourage someone in seeking a career and so forth. But however, that does not have to negate, meaning those things can be done up front. For example, if a sister she's doing a medical degree, she's a doctor, she's a lawyer, she's in some profession that requires a lot of education, that does not mean she cannot get married still. She can do that and have as a stipulation, have her guardian stipulate and her father stipulate or whatever, that, hey, she wants to finish her education. If you are not going to allow her to do that, as a condition in the marriage, then she's not suitable for you. So those kind of stipulations can be laid out prior to marriage. So it does not negate marriage. And hopefully this answers your question, and hopefully that we can have more rectification in our Muslim marriages around the world. وصلى الله وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم.